In this video, I'm going to share with you how you could plan a project highly effectively to make it be successful. I'll walk you through an actual example that's really going to help you. This is efficiency and organization, and this channel is all about planning, having systems in place, having routines, and things that'll help us to achieve a lot more in everyday life. Organizing, it involves time management, efficiency, and so it's a lot of good information, good content that comes your way. Videos are released about once or twice a week. Okay, so let's talk about project management, planning a project. So it could be short term, it could be long term. Here are some examples of short term projects. So these typically involve being done in approximately a year or less. So if you think of like maybe planning a party, that could be a project. Losing weight, like saying I'm going to lose 50 pounds, that could be a project. If you're planning a trip somewhere, like maybe to Europe, that could be a project. You may not think of these as projects, but they could be. Long-term ones take more than a year to accomplish, and these would be more like saving enough money for a down payment of a home. It could be starting a new business. It could be finishing a college degree. So those are more long-term. So I'm going to walk you through an actual example that'll really help you with this 7-step process. Let's say my goal is to become a real estate agent. Okay, let's say I have my full-time job and I want to become a real estate agent. The first thing would be to sit down and brainstorm. Because I have no idea how to become a real estate agent, how I would even succeed at it, I would have to sit and brainstorm everything that I need to know, everything that I do know. Number one is going to be, how do you get a license? How will I get clients? What type of expenses do I have to incur to even become a real estate agent? Number 4, who would I work for? Which firm? So any questions that I have about this will be brainstormed. I'll just write them all out because then I have to go research and find the answers. Now, the second step is going to be to come up with a checklist. This is the real meat and potatoes of the project. I have to write, based on all the things I brainstormed, what specific things I need to do. Number 1, I probably need to call a place like a local real estate company and ask them, if I get my license, is it possible for me to work with you? Number 2, what can I learn from other agents once I come and work there? Number 3, can I meet with a local agent and ask them if how I could go about the process. So this is where you develop a checklist for every small thing you need to do. And then the next thing is going to be to put them in priority order. So which things am I going to do first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. Behind me here, I have these folders that I use. I call these project folders, and basically they're just pocket folders. And when I come up with my checklists, I put them up here, up on the cover. This is an example of one that I'm talking about. What I do is I just make a checklist and then I have the title and I staple them on top. So as I come up with things I need to do for the project, I write them and then I go ahead and check them off once each one is done. It helps me to stay organized. And you can do this digitally if you'd like, but for me, having a paper copy is extremely important. It just works better for me than digital, because digital a lot of times is out of sight, out of mind, whereas this is in sight. I see it. I have my folders, they're visual, they're in front of me, so I don't just forget about them. I don't procrastinate on them. I know I have to work on them. So this, for example, is I'm organizing a CPR event, because I have mentioned in previous videos that I am a high school administrator, and so I do a lot of event planning. So we have a CPR day that we have coming up. So I write down, who do I need to contact? Who do I confirm? What's the company that's gonna come and do the CPR? How many classes are gonna go each class period? So all those things are written here, and as I do each, I check them off. It would be the same for me if I had decided I'm gonna go and get a real estate license to do that on a part-time basis. I would do the same thing. The main thing is the prioritizing, right? Because some things you have to do before others. Now, if possible, I could delegate some of the things to other people. If not, I can't. So, for example, because I am a high school administrator, I have people who work for me, and so I can delegate some tasks to other people. But if I'm trying to become a real estate agent, I probably can't delegate. I probably need to do everything myself. So that would be different. Next step is get going. This is where you cannot procrastinate. This is where you cannot say, I'll do it tomorrow. This is where your self discipline has to kick in to be very task oriented and to get going. So if you set your mind that you're going to do a project, you're not going to not do it. So everything that you have on the checklist has to be done and has to be done in a timely manner. I think most people, they set goals, really good goals for themselves, but a lot of the reasons why they don't accomplish them is because they don't have specific action plans written, number one, and number two, they don't really do them. Even when they do have like the ideas and like what they need to do, they don't do them. But if you can get yourself that self-motivation, that self-discipline to get going, you're going to achieve each of those things. And they're not supposed to be all done at once. You have to take, maybe you could say, okay, I'll do one thing on the checklist today. I'll do these two things on the checklist today. And then little by little by little, you're chipping away at it. And then before you know it, your project is done and it's successful and it's great. Now, some projects are not repetitive. You do it once and it's done. For example, when my son was trying to get his driving license as a brand new driver, 16 years old, that was a project that I had to help him with. So now that he has his license, we have him insured, he has his car, we're done. That project won't repeat itself. Maybe it will for my daughter, but that's about it. So there's one-time projects that you're one and done with. But then there are projects that repeat themselves over and over again, like the CPR event that I'm saying, that repeats every year. So what I would do for that is keep the checklist so that way I could use it over and over and not forget little details. So if you do have projects that repeat, keep them in your computer. I would say on like a thumb drive, or maybe in your Google folder, Google Drive. You can save these in a very organized way so that way you can refer to them and use them over and over and share them with others as needed. And the last step is just celebrate your successes. So once you finish a project and it's successful, you know what? Celebrate yourself. Give yourself a little reward. No project is going to be perfect, even at the very end. If you like, your project involves different people, many people, an audience, if you will, there's going to be someone somewhere who's going to complain, maybe a group of people who are going to complain. If it's valid, it's valid. You learn and you make it better next time. Maybe you can change something on the checklist to make it better for next time. Otherwise, you know what? You got through it, it's done, learn from it, and celebrate the successes. I hope you found this video helpful and useful. Be sure to share it with other people. I have a lot of other very helpful videos published on this channel as well as on the website efficiencyandorganization.com. I have 2 books published and a third on the way soon. Till next time, I'll catch you in the next video.